out there, all you death heads and violators? Welcome to the Deth-N-Vengeance show. I'm your host, Jonny Death. With me always, Majin Drew, and the very, very evil Eddie Gein. Deth-N-Vengeance show, coming at ya. Well, howdy, all you death heads and violators. We're back. It's been a few weeks because of the holidays and our scheduling conflicts. It's been hard to get together, but we're back. As you can see, it's only a gruesome twosome. Jonny Death and
Eddie Gein.
Me and Eddie Gein over here. So this one's long overdue. Spider-Man Enter the Spiderverse. Ozzy, go fuck yourself. And he's actually going to go do that.
He's a third member of he's a fourth member of
Ozzy, come here. Anyway, Spider-Man Enter the Spiderverse. We got to see this a while back, but like I said, due scheduling conflicts and the holidays and all that stuff, we haven't had a chance to get together to do a review on it. So let's get started. Spider-Man Enter the Spiderverse. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I think the thing behind it is like that whole story of like Spider-Man people crossing over and they're like joining forces or whatever. I think they've done a couple of comics about it, and also I remember the animated series. They had one where they're all like teaming up a bunch of Spider-Men. I don't know if you remember it.
I never watched the anime, but I know what you're talking about. It had that Spider-Man. What's it with the silver?
Yeah,
right. The armored suit,
armored Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and then they had the Spider-Man with when Peter Parker turned into that spider, and he's got like 6 arms or whatever.
The doppelganger.
Yeah, and then it's got like the Scarlet Spider and Dr. Octopus if he was Spider-Man or whatever.
Doc Ock. Yeah, I never watched the animated series, but I know what episode you're talking about. I've seen clips from it, but
it's called I think it was Secret Wars or something. The Beyonder, he's having like some kind of war to prove that heroes are more capable than villains or something like that, and he recruits all the Spider-Man from different universes to fight against each other.
Yeah, so in this one, kind of a spoiler alert, Kingpin is, I guess, the main villain, and he's trying to open up dimensions into, or portal into other dimensions because, he lost his wife in this one, so, he's trying to regain, I guess, maybe a universe where they still exist or things are different and stuff. And so Spider-Man, Peter Parker, comes to stop that at the beginning and ends up dying, which was kind of cool, I guess. It sucked, but I mean, that he actually, Kingpin actually killed him in the beginning, and then Miles Morales gets bit by a spider similar to the way Peter Parker does, but this spider has a little bit different qualities because he has some kind of what is it? You would say like some kind of force power, like where he can
he's got a couple of different powers. He can turn invisible. He can shock people and paralyze them for a little bit. And I think those are the main two.
So it's he turned invisible, and so so he then everything else, he can fly, not fly, but he can swing and do all the little acrobatic stuff. But then he's got those extra little powers and stuff. So in doing so, when Kingpin tried to open up that portal, it opened up, I guess, some other portals, and then that's how we got the multiple Spider-Man. Was it Spider-Man Noir?
There's Spider-Man Noir. There's
the little pig Spider-Man.
Peter Porker. You have
Gwen Stacy's Spider-Girl.
Spider-Gwen. You have the Japanese one. I forgot what her name was.
It's a little
RPD or something like that.
Yeah, it's like a little Asian girl, schoolgirl kind of thing with a big ass robot. All you gotta say is one word, Japanese. It explains it all.
She has her own comic, but it's not really that really well known. It's kind of like one of those more recent spider persons. But they included her in this movie, and
that's just I think they threw that in there to appeal more to the anime fans, that would kind of like, not I say anime, but the people that like, would probably know what it is to be like, oh my god, I wasn't gonna watch it before, but now, But anyway, I thought it was pretty cool though that she was added to that and stuff. And then of course it shows the Prowler is his uncle, and stuff, and you're saying he has a, I guess like an important role to play, like in the
in the comics, that's kind of like the main villain that Miles Morales has to face all the time. And then they introduce him in this one. Um, they introduce him as just Miles's uncle or whatever, but
cool uncle.
Everybody who was in the know, oh, that's a Prowler.
Yeah, that was a cool little thing they added to that. So yeah, and so basically the gist of the movie is they get thrown into the Miles Morales universe, and they have to get back because I guess the longer they stay there, they die or something.
Yeah, like they start fading out of existence or whatever. So they gotta go back to their own universe. So that's pretty much the premise of that. And then it also like goes into like Miles like coming into terms with his powers and like kind of learning the ropes.
Yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised with the movie. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did, but I really did like it. Like I can't wait for it to come out on Blu-ray and stuff because that's one I would like to add to my
or Netflix or whatever.
Or Netflix, yeah, that's one I want to watch again.
Yeah, I really liked this movie. It was really really funny. Like every like 2 minutes there was like a joke that would just kind of like make you chuckle or whatever. Because like usually like Spider-Man movies, Spider-Man always has these quips and stuff where like, he's kind of like annoying like Deadpool, or he'll be like always like cracking jokes. That's kind of like Spider-Man's thing that he's known for. And this movie didn't disappoint with the quips. They're pretty funny. Is there any like one that you can remember off the top of your head?
Yeah, I like the intro. How they make fun of the Sam Raimi movies. When he's walking down the street and he's doing the whole like thing. And that from part 3.
The background, the upside down kiss, and
yeah,
how he's like, oh, and he's like, and don't forget about that one time I was dancing in the street or something like that.
Yeah,
and he's just like,
and he's like, where the hell did that come from, or something like that, or what's up with that? And yeah, I thought that was funny. Then just like little like I like another part that made me laugh was when they're because mom is going to this school, I guess like a private kind of like school, whatever, where he lives in some kind of dormitory. And his roommate, he's all the other Spider-Mans are there, and they're hiding from his roommate, and who's kind of like clueless that they're there. And they're like hiding up in the corner, and if he moves to the right, they move they're like trying to stay out of his view. And all of a sudden, he looks up and he sees them, and the little pig one's like, he's like, I don't know if I should say anything because I don't know if talking to animals will freak him out. And then he just kind of like passes out. I thought that was
do
animals talk in this universe? He goes, I don't want to freak him out, and I was like. But yeah, it was really good.
Oh yeah, all he does is like he goes to sleep or something like that, or I don't know.
Yeah, he passes out and wakes up, and he's like he like convinced my roommate that he had a bad dream or a bad nightmare or something like that. But yeah, it was really good, really really good. I suggest if you ever get, I don't think it's still in theaters. If it is, maybe it's in like the $2 theaters or the whatever. But it should be coming out to.
Blu-ray and DVD.
Blu-ray pretty soon. Probably Netflix. Give it like another couple weeks or a month, and you'll see it on Netflix or Hulu or whatever. But yeah, it's really good. Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse.
Okay, so next movie we're going to talk about is Aquaman.
Arthur Curry.
Seaman.
Nicole Kidman in a tight suit.
Nicole Kidman. Jason Momoa. A.K.A. Jonathan.
Pinche mamón. No. This is another movie that surprised me. I was thinking, oh man, because just going by the DC Universe's track record, I mean, okay, there's some good ones, but you know what? Honestly, like DC gets a lot of shit for their movies, but I didn't mind Batman versus Superman. You know what I mean? I didn't mind the Justice League. I know a lot of people say, oh, those movies sucked ass, or the Superman Man of Steel movie sucked, and they didn't like, whatever. And, and that the only good movie they came out with was Wonder Woman. But I don't know. I like the other ones. I mean,
Dark Knight series, but that's not considered
DC.
canon right there.
Well, yeah, I guess it's
Is it?
it's a DC. I mean, they're DC.
No, but like part of like the whole main like DCEU crap or whatever.
Yeah. Well, even those the was it the do Nolan
Um, Nolan,
Jack Nolan or something or
whatever his name is.
anyway they did like the Dark Knight Rises, and Batman Beyond. Those movies, everybody they hold those in high regard, and they're like, oh, those three were like the only good movies they came out with, and stuff. But I know I like them. You know what I mean? Like people are they talk about the movies like they're fucking expecting a goddamn Academy Award winning like fucking movie. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be cheesy. It's supposed to be everything they describe. It's like it's like I don't know. It's like trying to compare a fucking Snickers bar to a fucking French, 5-star restaurant fucking dessert. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a fucking candy. You know what I mean? Like it's supposed to be cheesy. They're supposed to be, off the wall and, kind of, you're not supposed to expect fucking Schindler's List from a fucking comic book movie. You know what I mean? It's not supposed to be, it's supposed to be like that. And so, but of course, it was Aquaman. You know what I mean? Aquaman's not the greatest. Like you hear Aquaman, it's like,
so you can talk to fish.
Yeah, it's like, okay, what else does he do? I think they try to make him a little more cooler by getting Jason Momoa. You know what I mean? Because he's got that kind of like, hey, what's up? I'm gonna
kind
drink.
Kind of like a bum.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink a beer and I'm gonna drink beers all night and. Instead of like talking to you, I'm gonna get into a fight. You want to fight? I'm gonna. That kind of like,
kind of like a badass. Like,
yeah,
he doesn't really care too much.
Yeah, because if you look at Aquaman from like all the little animated series, and stuff, he's always just been I call him the vanilla character because he's no flavor. It's just playing, like, hey, Aquaman, woman, Wonder Woman, let me help you, and it's like, so he's never really been featured in a movie, like where he's the main star and it's all about him. It's always been like, oh yeah. It's Superman, Batman, and oh yeah, the dickhead over there. He's Aquaman. Yeah, he's like the little brother. Oh yeah, we're gonna go do this. And your mom.
Can I come too?
Mijo, take your little brother with you. Let him come with you. It's like, oh, okay, come on. So, but no, I was surprised. I loved the movie. It had great effects. The story went by at a good pace. There wasn't really many parts where I was like, like they're dragging on. I'm tired of hearing about this shit. You know what I mean? I think everything that they explained or those parts where it kind of slowed down, it was meant for developing the characters and like showing like, where, where the characters came from, how they, got to be where they're at, and stuff. And I guess in a way where it didn't drag on, there was a lot amount of action and great special effects.
We should also mention the fact that we watched it in 3D.
Yeah.
So I would really recommend watching it in 3D because like Johnny Death said, the special effects were good. So it just kind of like makes it extra, the little extra touch right there in 3D.
I mean, there's not really much negative things I have to say about it. I think they threw in some humor in there in areas where it didn't need it, but
yeah, like so there was like some of the stuff like Jason Momoa doesn't really know how to kind of like be funny too much. Like when he's funny, you kind of don't believe it. It just kind of passes off as like corny or whatever.
Yeah.
But there was parts where it's still funny, like that part in the bar where it looked like those guys were gonna like start trouble or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, can I get a picture?
And his phone's like a fucking Hello Kitty phone, and he's this big biker looking dude, or pirate looking,
And then it shows him like with a couple of pictures, like they start off with like a selfie, and then like they get a beer, and then they're like next thing you know, it's like
they're all lifting him up and stuff. Yeah, and he's yeah. So there was some good parts, but it's for Jason Momoa. He always plays like a badass kind of guy. So like for him to do humor, it's
yeah, he should stick to doing like badass and not like
it wasn't bad, but it's like trying to see Jack Black trying to be like a badass. It's kind of like I don't really see it. You know what I mean? So it's Jason Momoa trying to be, comedian or be funny. Like, I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like it was kind of like, I could have gone without seeing, hearing that joke.
Kind of reminded me of like Thor Ragnarok. I always bring up this scene where like he's with that Satyr guy, the dude from the underworld.
Yeah.
And he's just like hanging upside down. And he's like, wait, and like he's like turning around and whatever. He's like, okay. What were you saying? Kind of like that part. I don't know. It just pisses me off just because it seemed really cheesy.
Does it piss you off as much as the part in Venom pisses me off, where Tom Hardy's on the elevator with that scientist, and he's all like, so were you talking about aliens? And she's like, yeah. And he's all like, you mean like E.T. Boop 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 beep boop beep boop? And I'm like, I almost walked out of the movie, but then I thought, oh shit, I paid money to see this movie. I was like, never mind. And plus, I had a big bowl of popcorn and some sour Skittles. So I was like, fuck it, I'm staying. I'll look past this part. But yeah, it was just like, but no, I mean, other than that, I mean, it was good. They set up the ending of the movie for a part 2, so we're gonna see spoiler. The Black Mantis, Manta. Sorry, I keep saying Mantis. Black Manta survived, and he's gonna come back in the sequel. I can't remember his name, but his half brother that he fights at the end.
Was Ocean Master or whatever?
Ocean Master General or whatever.
What the fuck his name was?
They have kind of like a peace. Like, I mean, they're fighting, and then he's gonna, finish him off, and then Nicole Kidman comes out and is like, no, don't, and nobody can say Nicole Kidman camel toe, so I couldn't say no to it either. And so, he kind of looks at him as they're taking him away to Atlantean jail or whatever, and he goes, whenever you're ready, let's talk. And so I'm thinking that he's gonna go to him, almost how like Thor and Loki hate each other, and then they kind of start working together, but there's a little bit of resistance where it's like, fuck, I don't want to work with you, man. We just fought each other. You took my crown, and then it's like, but wait a minute, you're my brother. Let me help you, and then it's like, thank you, brother, and so they kind of like work together, and then they save the day, but it's still kind of like, I really don't like you, and it's like, I don't like you either, but good job.
So this thing kind of like, it was kind of like a good crossover between Thor and Black Panther. It had the whole thing about like him going to his birth country or whatever, and trying to claim the throne, just like how Black Panther had the same thing. And then
it was just missing the Forrest Whitaker eye, the Black Panther. But
come my brothers,
King T'Challa, the Black Panther.
I am King T'Challa. I am the Prince of Wakanda.
I am Horchata, your mama. But yeah, it was a good movie. Aquaman. If you get a chance to see it, then once again, I don't know if it's still in theaters. Probably some theaters still have it. See it in 3D if they have it. If they don't, I mean, just check it out. If not, I mean, like I said, give it another month or two, and it'll probably be on Blu-ray and Netflix, and you can probably stream it and all kinds of shit for it. So I mean, it's a great movie. Looking forward to the sequel. I don't know. Are they going to do a Justice League sequel?
They probably reboot it, actually. I heard that they were going to do something with the Flash. And maybe
I heard that, but then they said they're pushing it back to like 2020. And then they're talking about a Wonder Woman Part 2, I think, or... Yeah. And then they're talking about a Batman reboot. I don't know if y'all heard about this. Leave your comment if you've heard about it. But they're going to get Robert Pattinson, the guy who played Edward Cullen in the Twilight movies, to be Batman Beyond. What's the one from Batman Beyond? The kid?
Terry McGinnis.
So I don't know. I saw they had a poster of him, like, with the Batman suit, and I saw below the picture, and there was like a couple thousand angry comments already. Like, what the fuck? No, I will not. No, like, I will slit my wrist before. No, and then
a lot of people remember the Batman Beyond animated series, and it was like one of those series that
is beloved.
Yeah, not as much as the original animated series, but it still holds up there.
Yeah, I watched a few, like the Batman Beyond. I didn't get to watch a lot of them. I remember Batman was really old and he had like trouble walking, right? Or didn't they have him in?
Yeah, well, he kind of retired as being Batman just because he was like old and stuff, and then Terry McGinnis comes along and like he loses his dad because of the gangs and stuff. So then he meets Bruce Wayne and he kind of takes him under his wing as the new Batman.
Yeah, and he has a suit that's like enhanced, you know what I mean? Because he's like a little kid, so he has like what elevated strength because of the suit, and like he can do like certain things. And
but I'm thinking if they do a Batman Beyond movie, it'd kind of be like its own separate thing.
Yeah,
just like how that new Joker movie is. It's supposed to be its own separate thing.
I would rather see a Nightwing movie.
Yeah, me too.
With that little Jason Gordon-Levitt from the Batman Rises, Dark Knight Rises. You know that's the one that played Robin in the movie.
Was he Robin?
Yeah. At the end, he's like, "What's your name?" He was like, he goes, "Oh, it's because he leaves. Bruce Wayne leaves him something." He goes, "It's probably under my my real name or something like that, or my government name." And he's like, "It's Robin, whatever." And he's like, "Oh, Robin, wait a minute, Robin," you know. And then he goes and Bruce Wayne gives him the mansion and the cave and shit like that, or he leaves the cave to the orphans, and then Nacho Libre comes out and he's like, I hate all the orphans in the world. And Esqueleto. And then he goes in the cave and you see him down there and he sees oh shit, Bruce Wayne was Batman, which he already mentioned earlier in the movie. He's like, I knew you were Batman. You know?
I'm Batman.
I am Jason Gordon-Levitt. Right? That's the name, Jason Gordon-Levitt, or JGL, they call him, or
I'm not too sure.
Gordon-Levitt. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. A little bastard from Third Rock from the Sun. A little squinty-eyed fuck. Anyway, I'd rather see maybe him, or like maybe they do a Batman Beyond movie, but he's in there, you know what I mean? Like, hey, this is my other protege, you know. And then he kind of like maybe, because Batman's kind of old, and maybe he kind of like says, hey, let me show you what Bruce Wayne taught me. And then you find out Bruce Wayne's alive, but he's more of like a Charlie's Angels type thing where, where they get stuck in a case. They'll be like, hey, Bruce, what do we do? And he'll be like, why don't you try looking for this? And it's like, oh my God,
It's going to be interesting what they do with the whole DCEU thing. Just because they're trying to compete with Marvel. This year, Captain Marvel's coming out. You have Avengers Endgame going to come out, which we're going to go see.
Yeah, so stay tuned for those.
Review on those.
Hopefully you won't have to wait a month or two before we put those out. We'll try to do those as they come out and not wait for them. Then we got the Shazam movie coming out, which I'm 50-50. I think it's going to suck, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm still going to see it just because, I am a fan of the Shazam comics and like the whole character. I wouldn't have got that, whoever the name of the guy that plays him in the movie, whatever. It looks like Jerry Seinfeld's little brother or something. But I don't know. Then again, it might be wrong. Like I said, I thought Aquaman was going to suck dick, but it didn't suck dick. It made me want to suck its dick because it was that good. So I don't know. I might be pleasantly surprised. I might have to be eating my words here, and you never know. So Aquaman, check it out. Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse, check it out. They're two really great films.
Recommended by the DNV crew.
Yes.
If Majin Ju was here, he would recommend it.
Yeah, he'd be like, oh my God, it was so good.
It was so good, I wanted to suck his dick.
Instead, I ate a pickle. No. Just kidding, Majin Drew. We love you. Strictly as two guys love another guy. So remember, guys, stay in school. Don't do drugs. And the Dutch rudder, it ain't gay.
And whatever you do,
it ain't gay. The Dutch rudder.
Just remember, sometimes death is better.
Yes, it is.